Namaskar, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, students and scholars, teachers and trainers, professors, professionals, officers, officials, listener learners. The most honorable President Prime Minister Modi ji, I welcome all respected doctors and directors, I welcome all adorable ministers and managers, I welcome all honorable advocates, advertisers, administrators and advisors, Dr. Rakesh from USA, heartily cordially welcome. It is really nice time, nice place, nice section today. That we are describing our holy Indian cultural identities. In the form of unity and diversity. आज अपने दूसरे पूल बी मैच में ओमान से भिड़ेगा भारत। 5 मैचों की भारत श्रीलंका महिला T20 सीरीज का ऐलान। आज पीएम मोदी डीजीपी आईजीपी अखिल भारतीय सम्मेलन में लेंगे हिस्सा। रेल मंत्री अश्विनी वैष्णव आज जैसलमेर दिल्ली एक्सप्रेस वे को दिखाएंगे हरी झंडी। 4 से 5 दिसंबर को भारत की राजकीय यात्रा पर रहेंगे रूस के राष्ट्रपति पुतिन। विधानसभा में असम पॉलीगैमी निषेध विधेयक 2025 पारित। भारत की ओर बढ़ा चक्रवात दितवा, दक्षिण पूर्वी राज्यों में अलर्ट। इंडोनेशिया भूस्खलन से 174 लोगों की मौत। हांगकांग अग्निकांड में मृतकों का आंकड़ा बढ़कर 128 हुआ। जूनियर हॉकी विश्व कप भारत ने चिली को 7-0 से हराया। आज अपने दूसरे पूल बी मैच में ओमान से भिड़ेगा भारत। 5 मैचों की भारत श्रीलंका महिला T20 टीम। आज पीएम मोदी डीजीपी आईजीपी अखिल भारतीय सम्मेलन में लेंगे हिस्सा छत्तीसगढ़ से। रेल मंत्री अश्विनी वैष्णव 4 से 5 दिसंबर को भारत की राजकीय यात्रा पर रहेंगे रूस के राष्ट्रपति व्लादिमीर पुतिन। विधानसभा में असम पॉलीगैमी निषेध विधेयक। भारत की ओर बढ़ा चक्रवात दितवा। इंडोनेशिया भूस्खलन से 174 लोगों की मौत। हांगकांग अग्निकांड में मृतकों का आंकड़ा बढ़कर 128 हुआ। जूनियर हॉकी विश्व कप भारत ने चिली को 7-0 से हराया। आज अपने दूसरे पूल बी मैच में ओमान से भिड़ेगा भारत। Trump hits back at his held scrutiny. Never worked so hard. From Washington, US President Donald Trump lashed out on Wednesday at the growing scrutiny of his health, asserting that he is in great shape and media reports to the contrary are purposely negative hit jobs. The trigger for a blistering presidential reprimand was a NYT story headline Signs of Fatigue. Trump faces penalties of aging in office. One of several recent articles in the press focusing on his health concerns arising from explicable medical exams and procedures, including an MRI, and signs of agitation he was shown in public. There will be a day when I run slow. There will be a day when I run low on energy. It happens to everyone, but with a perfect physical exam and a comprehensive cognitive test that was just recently taken, it certainly is not now. Trump 79, now the oldest president in US history, said the US president blamed creeps and radical left lunatics for the report, singling out NYT reporter Katie Rogers, who he said is assigned to write only bad things about me and is a third-rate reporter who is ugly both inside and out. The mostly liberal US media has lately zeroed in on the president's health, being off from a range of visual cues from swollen ankles to a bruised hand, from unsteady gait to drooping mouth, to diagnose that he is in decline. Going by his vigorous public schedule and engagements though, he appears as if not better than most 79-year-olds, but social media has been unrelenting in its reconstruction of US President's health. Photographs from a November 6 Oval Office briefing on drug pricing captured the president with eyes closed for extended periods, prompting speculation of sleep apnea and exhaustion. Cameras have also zoomed in on periodic purple discoloration on US President's right palm, potentially signaling transfusion and even speculating about neurological events like a transient ischemic attack. The White House said the bruising is due to too many handshakes. There has also been alarm over an undisclosed MRI scan in Oct, which Trump himself blurted out, questioning why such advanced imaging was not detailed in the physician's memo. The Oct checkup occurring just 6 months after a prior one prompted questions about emerging concerns. Officially, the White House has acknowledged only a diagnosis of chronic venous insufficiency, a circulatory disorder affecting blood flow in the leg veins, common in older adults with sedentary lifestyles or obesity. It causes leg swelling, pain, and skin discoloration. Symptoms echoed in social media analysis In Trump's case, it had been managed with compression therapy and elevation according to his physician. Beyond CBI, his medical history includes persistent cardiovascular risk with his April 2025 annual physical revealing elevated cholesterol levels total 223 mg or DL, LDL 143 mg or DL, and a body mass index of 30.4, classifying him as near obese, which didn't prevent him from taking a crack in Illinois overweight Governor J.B. Pritzker on Tuesday. Trump takes rosuvastatin for cholesterol and aspirin for cardiac protection, alongside medication for acid reflux and sleep issues, all on our part with those of his demographic. According to his supporters, Trump had brushed aside the growing concerns, insisting that he is working full tilt. Outlining his familiar scroll of achievements, the US President asserted to do this requires a lot of work and energy. I have never worked so hard in my life. Jail officials say ex-PM Khan is in good health from Islamabad. ICE detains women with family ties to WHO secretary. हजारों लोगों की मेहनत और उद्यमशीलता का भी प्रतिबिंब पीएम मोदी शेष जीडीपी वृद्धि दर सुधारों के प्रभाव को दर्शाते पीएम सेज 4 से 5 दिसंबर को भारत की राजकीय यात्रा पर रहेंगे रूस के राष्ट्रपति पुतिन. ICE detains women with family ties to WHO press secretary. A woman from Brazil with family ties in the White House press secretary Caroline Leavitt is being detained at an immigration and custom enforcement facility in Louisiana, authorities shared. Bruna Caroline Ferreira, the mother of Leavitt's 11-year-old nephew, was pulled over and arrested on November 12 on her way to pick up her son from school in a suburb of Boston. Ferreira's lawyer Todd formerly said. चालू वित्त वर्ष की दूसरी तिमाही में जीडीपी वृद्धि. EU could hit X with fine before 2025 ends from Brussels. The European Union could fine Elon Musk's X platform for breaking its digital rules by the end of 2025, 2 years into a probe that had tested the blog's resolve to police the online space. अर्थव्यवस्था का शानदार प्रदर्शन जारी. भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था चालू वित्त वर्ष की दूसरी तिमाही में जीडीपी वृद्धि 8.2%. पिछली 6 तिमाहियों में सर्वाधिक. पूल बी मैच में ओमान से भिड़ेगा भारत. शानदार प्रदर्शन जारी भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था की. चालू वित्त वर्ष की दूसरी पिछली 6 तिमाहियों में सर्वाधिक. रेल मंत्री अश्विनी वैष्णव आज जैसलमेर दिल्ली एक्सप्रेस को दिखाएंगे हरी झंडी. भारतीय अर्थव्यवस्था का शानदार प्रदर्शन. चालू वित्त वर्ष की दूसरी तिमाही में जीडीपी वृद्धि 8.2%. Russia closes Polish consulate in Siberia in tit for tat move. From Moscow, Russia announced Russia summoned Poland's ambassador Thursday and announced it would shut Warsaw's consulate in the Siberian city of Irkutsk in retaliation for Poland closing a Russian consulate over accusations of sabotage. Russia's Ukraine offensive has badly damaged ties between Warsaw and Moscow, with Poland becoming a hub for Kiev-bound Western weapons and taking in hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian refugees. Pope Leo arrives in Turkey on closely watched first overseas trip. Pope Leo arrived in Turkey on his first trip outside Italy as leader of the Catholic Church on Thursday and was expected to make appeals for peace in the Middle East and urge unity among long divided Christian churches. The first US Pope chose mainly Muslim Turkey as his first overseas destination to mark the 1700th anniversary of a landmark early church council there that produced the Nicene Creed, still used by most of the world's Christians today. भारत बना मेजर पावर, ये दर्जा तेज आर्थिक वृद्धि और बढ़ती सैन्य क्षमता के आधार पर मिला। 5 मैचों की भारत श्रीलंका महिला T20 सीरीज का ऐलान। आज पीएम मोदी डीजीपी आईजीपी अखिल भारतीय सम्मेलन में लेंगे हिस्सा छत्तीसगढ़ से। रेल मंत्री अश्विनी वैष्णव आज जैसलमेर दिल्ली एक्सप्रेस को दिखाएंगे हरी झंडी। श्री राम की नगरी अयोध्या, श्री राम की नगरी अयोध्या। विधानसभा में असम पॉलीगैमी निषेध विधेयक 2025 पारित। भारत की ओर बढ़ा चक्रवात दित्वा, दक्षिणी पूर्वी राज्यों में श्री राम की नगरी अयोध्या। हांगकांग अग्निकांड में मृतकों का आंकड़ा बढ़कर 128 हुआ। जूनियर हॉकी विश्व कप भारत ने चिल्ली को 7-0 से हराया। आज अपने दूसरे पूल बी मैच में ओमान से भिड़ेगा भारत। 5 मैचों की भारत श्रीलंका महिला T20 सीरीज का ऐलान। छत्तीसगढ़ से आज पीएम मोदी डीजीपी आईजीपी अखिल भारतीय सम्मेलन में लेंगे हिस्सा। रेल मंत्री अश्विनी वैष्णव आज जैसलमेर दिल्ली एक्सप्रेस को दिखाएंगे हरी झंडी। 4-5 दिसंबर को भारत की राष्ट्रीय यात्रा पर रहेंगे रूस के राष्ट्रपति पुतिन। विधानसभा में असम पॉलीगैमी निषेध विधेयक 2025 पारित। भारत की ओर बढ़ा चक्रवात दित्वा, दक्षिणी पूर्वी राज्यों में अलर्ट। इंडोनेशिया भूस्खलन से 174 लोगों की मौत। हांगकांग अग्निकांड में मृतकों का आंकड़ा बढ़कर 128 हुआ। जूनियर हॉकी विश्व कप भारत ने चिल्ली को 7-0 से हराया। आज अपने दूसरे पूल बी मैच में ओमान से भिड़ेगा भारत। 5 मैचों की भारत श्रीलंका महिला T20 सीरीज का ऐलान। आज पीएम मोदी डीजीपी आईजीपी अखिल भारतीय सम्मेलन में लेंगे हिस्सा छत्तीसगढ़ से। रेल मंत्री अश्विनी वैष्णव आज जैसलमेर दिल्ली एक्सप्रेस वे को दिखाएंगे हरी झंडी। 4 से 5 दिसंबर को भारत की राष्ट्रीय यात्रा पर रहेंगे रूस के राष्ट्रपति व्लादिमीर पुतिन। विधानसभा में असम पॉलीगैमी निषेध विधेयक 2025 पारित। भारत की ओर बढ़ा चक्रवात दित्वा, दक्षिणी पूर्वी राज्यों में अलर्ट। Two National Guard members shot in ambush attack close to WH. close to Washington, 29-year-old suspect and Afghan man taken in custody from Washington. Two West Virginian National Guard members who deployed to the nation's capital were shot Wednesday afternoon just blocks from the White House in a brazen act of violence that the mayor described as a targeted attack. FBI Director Kash Patel and Washington Mayor Muriel Boyeszer said they were hospitalized in critical condition. US plans to charge suspect with terrorism. Attorney General Pam Bondi said the US plans to charge the suspect who shot two National Guard troops in Washington, D.C. with terrorism. She added that the charges will depend in part on whether either of God's soldiers die, in which case the administration would try to seek the death penalty against the suspect and the suspect in custody. An Afghan man who entered the US in 2021, the most important thing you can do today is pray, he said Thursday on Fox News. Court sentenced Hasina to 21 years in jail in graft cases from Dhaka. Former PM Sheikh Hasina was sentenced to 21 years imprisonment in three cases filed over the Parbachal plot scam in Dhaka by the special judge court here on Thursday. Her son Sujib, West Joy and daughter Sema West Patel received 5 years jail sentences each in one of the three cases, reports Ashan Tusnim. भारत यात्रा का मकसद 23वें भारत रूस वार्षिक शिखर सम्मेलन में हिस्सा लेंगे। भारत रूस संबंधों में नया अध्याय। प्रधानमंत्री मोदी से मुलाकात करेंगे रूसी राष्ट्रपति पुतिन। दोनों नेता द्विपक्षीय संबंधों की प्रगति की समीक्षा करेंगे। रेल मंत्री अश्विनी वैष्णव आज जैसलमेर दिल्ली एक्सप्रेस वे को दिखाएंगे हरी झंडी। रक्षा, सुरक्षा, व्यापार, नागरिक, परमाणु ऊर्जा का रहेगा विशेष ध्यान। भविष्य के सहयोग पे चर्चा। Hong Kong's deadliest fire in decades kills dozens. From Hong Kong's deadliest fire in more than half a century killed at least 55 and destroyed hundreds of homes, throwing scrutiny on the city's construction standards and raising questions of criminal accountability. Firefighters finally brought the blaze at an 8-tower housing block in northern Hong Kong under control on Thursday afternoon. Although smoke still billowed over the city's skyline, the fire began on a section of bamboo scaffolding erected for a controversial $40.6 million renovation project and quickly cured around the compact cluster of high-rise communities. Hong Kong Chief Executive John Lee visited the Charter Complex on Thursday, hours after ordering a citywide inspection of all housing estates undergoing major renovation. At a snap briefing, he announced each family would receive HK 10,000 pound in relief, flanked by several officials. A somberly pledged the government would completely replace bamboo scaffolding and ensure the transition of workers to metal ones. Lee didn't confirm whether all 4,600 residents were now accounted for after earlier in the day saying hundreds were missing. Nuclear sector to upon nuclear sector to open up for private players soon, Pimshesh from Hyderabad. Prime Minister Narendra Modi Thursday shared India's highly tightly controlled nuclear power sector will soon be opened for private players, a move that will give new strength to the country's energy scrutiny. The PM made the remarks during a function inaugurates Skyroute Aerospace's Infinity campus halls. We are moving towards opening the nuclear sector as well. We are laying the foundation for a strong role for the private sector in this field too. Modi said in his address to video conferencing. The government has set a target of generating 100 GW of nuclear power by 2047, a more than tenfold increase from the current capacity of 8.8 GW of atomic energy generation. This will create opportunities in small modular reactors, advanced reactors and nuclear innovation. This reform will give new strength to our energy scrutiny and technological leadership, Modi said. Siddhan DK ash faces of overpromised word from Bengaluru. RSS man murder, hitman killed in crossfire during ambush and cops from Firozpur. VP approves PU Senate election schedules. CS burst out at Dharna site. VC urges for stir and Morcha says 3 demands pending from Chandigarh after 26 days of dharnas, shutdowns and showdowns. Punjab University on Thursday received formal approval for the Senate election schedule from the Chancellor. Vice President Shri Radhakrishnan, a major step in resolving the agitation that began earlier this month. The mood on campus immediately shifted from tension to celebration. But PU Bachao Morcha shared its protest was not yet over and that further negotiations would take place on three pending demands. The notification issued by the Vice President's Secretariat and conveyed to Vice Chancellor Professor Eloise confirms the schedule proposed by PU in its letter dated November 9. With this, the university can now begin preparations for elections that have been pending since the Senate term expired on October 31, 2024. Voting schedule is from September 7 to October 4 next year. Supreme Court says pre-censorship for social media content needed from New Delhi. भारतीय वायुसेना का विमान 12 टन राज सामग्री लेकर पहुंचा कोलंबो। भूस्खलन से 176 लोगों की मौत इंडोनेशिया से। हांगकांग अग्निकांड में मृतकों का आंकड़ा बढ़कर 128 हुआ। जूनियर हॉकी विश्व कप भारत ने चिली को 7-0 से हराया। आज अपने दूसरे पूल बी मैच में ओमान से भिड़ेगा भारत। जेब में पड़ा स्मार्टफोन खाली कर सकता है आपकी जेब। हर कदम पर सतर्क रहने की जरूरत। आपकी पूरी कमाई मिनटों में हो सकती है साफ। यूट्यूब के टेक्निकल गुरुजी ने से जानिए साइबर टिप्स। विधानसभा में असम पॉलीगैमी निषेध विधेयक 2025 पारित। भारत की ओर बढ़ा चक्रवात देतवा, दक्षिण पूर्वी राज्यों में अलर्ट। श्रीलंका में चक्रवात देतवा से अब तक 56 लोगों की मौत। Pre-censorship for social media content needed from Supreme Court, New Delhi. Supreme Court Thursday told the Information and Broadcasting Ministry to prepare a draft mechanism for screening of user-generated content (UGCs) prior to their uploading on social media, realizing their vast potential to cause damage to and unrest in society before being taken down. Bench of CJI Suryakant and Justice Joy Balamachi said right to freedom of speech is very important but a regulated right. It is not absolute, as the First Amendment rights in the US self-regulatory odds may not work in case of UGCs if an anti-national content is uploaded on social media. By the time the government notices it and orders its takedown, a day or two may pass, during which period it would go viral and cause damage or unrest in society. Don't have magic wand to clear air pollution, Supreme Court says. Not correct to blame farm fires as main clause, CJI says from New Delhi. Supreme Court on Thursday said it does not have a magic wand to improve the air quality of Delhi and NCR, virtually admitting that sustained judicial activism for decades after impressive initial rewards has yielded minimum results in losing the grip of noxious air over Delhi NCR during the winter months. Senior advocate Aparajita Singh, amicus curiae in air pollution cases, told a bench of CJI Suryakant and Justice Joymala Bagchi that the hazardous level of pollution in the ambient, ambient air of Delhi and NCR is not getting reduced as authorities are not implementing a series of past orders of the apex court. She requested early listing of pleas for curbing air pollution, which is creating a health emergency in the region. CJ Kant, who on Wednesday was narrating his discomfort due to air pollution, said, "What magic wand the judiciary has to wave it to clear the pollution from air. Moreover, by the time we hear parties and pass orders, if the air flow is favorable, the ambient air gets better, rendering those directions obvious." Singh said SC has already passed orders for actions to be taken by authorities grand, in graded manner depending on the levels of air pollution. All it requires is their implementation in letter and spirit, she said. CJ Kant, who comes from an agriculturist joint family from a village in Haryana, indicated that to put the blame on farm fires as the main cause of air pollution in Delhi is not correct. The problem of air pollution is known to everyone. Also known is that there are a variety of reasons for this, he said. The bench said only domain experts and scientists can identify the reasons for air pollution in Delhi and NCR. Don't rely on digital alerts to decide cases. One Supreme Court tech can add but can't replace judicial security and verification from Chandigarh. Two National Guard members shot near White House from Washington. Two West Virginia National Guard members who deployed to the nation's capital were shot Washington Wednesday, just blocks from the White House in an act of violence that the mayor described as a targeted attack. ED arrests gaming CEO Win Joe founders. Polygamy to attract 10 years jail in Assam. Death toll rises to 75 in Hong Kong. Fire 280 missing. आज पीएम मोदी छत्तीसगढ़ में रेल मंत्री अश्विनी वैष्णव आज जैसलमेर दिल्ली एक्सप्रेस वे को दिखाएंगे हरी झंडी। 4 से 5 दिसंबर को भारत की राजकीय यात्रा पर रहेंगे रूस के राष्ट्रपति व्लादिमीर पुतिन। विधानसभा में असम पॉलीगैमी निषेध विधेयक 2025 पारित। भारत की ओर बढ़ा चक्रवात, चितवाहा दक्षिणी पूर्वी राज्यों में अलर्ट। श्रीलंका में चक्रवात, attack on democracy, says Amritpal's father from Amritsar, terming the rejection of parole to jailed MP Amritpal Singh a direct attack on democracy aimed at silencing an elected representative, the father of Amritpal Singh. The same Singh said, "The Sangat of Khadur Sahib elected Amritpal Singh to parliament with a massive mandate, yet the government is preventing him from even attending parliament. This is an insult to the democratic rights of the people who elected him." While speaking to media person here on Thursday, he shared the government's justification of law and order and state security for denying parole is completely baseless. He alleged that the Punjab government's decision exposes what he called its anti-Sikh attitude. The decisions being taken to suppress the voice of Sikh youth show that the Man government is not functioning democratically but acting out of political vendetta. He claimed. Notably, the Punjab government has decided not to grant temporary parole to the MP and NSA detainees Amritpal Singh, who sought permission to attend the winter session of Parliament beginning December 1. The decision comes a week after the Punjab and Haryana High Court disposed of a petition and directed the state government to decide on the MP's parole request. He claimed that the repeated denial of parole makes it clear that the government fears not only Amritpal Singh's voice but also the strength of the people of Punjab who elected him. Punjab government declines MP Amritpal's appeal for temporary release from Chandigarh, citing the grounds of his ongoing detention under the National Security Act and the grave and manifest danger posed by him to the security of the state and maintenance of the public order. The Punjab government declined Khadur Sahib and MP Amritpal Singh's application for temporary release to attend the upcoming winter session of the parliament commencing December 1. While declaring the application of Amritpal Singh and order dated November 24 by Additional Chief Secretary, Punjab Home Department also cited a Supreme Court ruling where a constitution bench of the apex court held that an MP in detention has no constitutional right to attend session of the parliament, citing comments of Amritpal, citing comments of Amritsar Rural Senior Superintendent of Police and a letter of Amritsar District Magistrate. The order noted both the said officers have opposed the temporary release of Amritpal Singh for the purpose of attending the winter session of the parliament in view of threat to the security of the state and maintenance of public order. Reproducing April 17, 2025, detention order issued by then Amritsar Deputy Commissioner Sakshi Sahne, which was executed with effect from April 23. Apno Acknowledging Center Assembly had BJP says from Chandigarh. Fagwada, shots fired at AAP leader's house is shot out every 4 days in Punjab since 2022 from Chandigarh. Kavan Kar right to see relative of illegal mining Ashwini Sharma to Man from Chandigarh. Power engineer body meets PSPCL chief over demands from Patiala. Gangster Nishan Jorians and arrested in Batala from news from Batala. Trafficker links AAP removes Moga Mayor from post, party says. Never taken bribe, had become AAP's first mayor in state from Chandigarh or Bathinda. 213 crore released under Rangla Punjab scheme says FM. 213 crore rupees released under Rangla Punjab scheme says FM. Finance Minister Punjab says from Chandigarh House letters worth 2.5 crore rupees given to 102. Hong Kong Agni Conway मृतकों की संख्या 173। आज अपने दूसरे पूल बी मैच में ओमान से भिड़ेगा भारत। पीएम आज डीजीपी आईजीपी सम्मेलन में लेंगे हिस्सा छत्तीसगढ़ से। रेल मंत्री आज जैसलमेर दिल्ली एक्सप्रेस वे को दिखाएंगे हरी झंडी। 4 से 5 दिसंबर को भारत की राजकीय यात्रा पर रहेंगे रूस के राष्ट्रपति व्लादिमीर पुतिन। भारत की ओर बढ़ा चक्रवात दित्वा, दक्षिण पूर्वी राज्यों में अलर्ट। श्रीलंका में चक्रवात दित्वा से अब तक 56 लोगों की मौत। ऑपरेशन सागर बंधु के तहत श्रीलंका को भारत की मदद। वायुसेना कमान 12 टन राहत सामग्री लेकर पहुंचा कोलंबो। भूस्खलन से 174 लोगों की मौत इंडोनेशिया में। हांगकांग अग्निकांड में मृतकों का आंकड़ा बढ़कर हुआ 128। जूनियर हॉकी विश्व कप, भारत ने चिल्ली को 7-0 से हराया। Lord's Mark Industries Limited acquires Renelex. As demand for advanced renal care rises across India, Lord's Mark Industries Limited is expanding its healthcare ambitions focused on redefining the future of dialysis through innovative technology-driven solutions. रेल मंत्री आज जैसलमेर दिल्ली एक्सप्रेस वे को दिखाएंगे हरी झंडी। 4 से 5 दिसंबर को भारत की राजकीय यात्रा पर रहेंगे रूस के राष्ट्रपति व्लादिमीर पुतिन। भारत की ओर बढ़ा चक्रवात दिवा, दक्षिण पूर्वी राज्यों में अलर्ट। श्रीलंका में चक्रवात दित्वा से अब तक 50 लोगों की मौत। ऑपरेशन सागर बंधु के तहत श्रीलंका को भारत की मदद। भारतीय वायुसेना का विमान 12 टन राहत सामग्री लेकर। भूस्खलन से 174 लोगों की मौत इंडोनेशिया में। हांगकांग अग्निकांड में मृतकों का आंकड़ा बढ़कर 128 हुआ। जूनियर हॉकी विश्व कप भारत ने चिली को 7-0 से हराया। जूनियर हॉकी विश्व कप भारत का आज ओमान से मुकाबला। लॉर्ड्स मार्क इंडस्ट्रीज लिमिटेड एक्वायर्स रिनेलेक्स। Army chief outlined set of springboards to transform course. From New Delhi, Civic Pulse, Udhav Raj holds talks on seat sharing. Prem speaks in Odisha House, brings class of 2000 into Fox. Murmu, CM Majhi, Union Minister, Pradhan part of Y2K debattants. From Bhubaneswar, as Draupadi Murmu walked into the Odisha Assembly on Thursday to deliver her address, the first by a president in the House. The moment evoked memories of 2000, the year a BJD-BJP coalition came to power and altered the state's political course. While much has changed since then, yet the presence of leaders who debated that year stood out. Murmu herself entered the House as a first-time MLA from Hiranpur in 2000 alongside current Chief Minister Mohan Charan Majhi, who debuted from Kionjar, and Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan, who began his legislative journey from Palahada, underscoring how the class of 2000 continues to shape Odisha's political narrative. Murmu served as a minister in then CM Naveen Patnaik's team during her first term. He received the Pandit Nilkantha Das Samman for Best MLAs in her second term, a fact highlighted Thursday by Governor Hari Babu Kambapati and Speaker Surama Pandey in their welcome speeches. While I have addressed many parliaments and assemblies, speaking in the Odisha Assembly is special for me. She recalled her only days in politics. I have worked with Dharmendra Pradhan here. Dharmendra, CM Majhi and I entered this house together, says Draupadi Murmu from Bhubaneswar. पीएम आज डीजीपी आईजीपी सम्मेलन में लेंगे हिस्सा छत्तीसगढ़ से। चार से 5 दिसंबर को भारत की राजकीय यात्रा पर रहेंगे रूस के राष्ट्रपति व्लादिमीर पुतिन। क्या विज्ञान सच में इंसान की उम्र 150 साल कर सकता है? Judge relied on pop-up of Holyland magazine, High Court says. Hitman was taken to site for weapon recovery. Cops says. Akhilesh says BLOs given impractical targets. Tales of Kamsutra cancelled in Goa from Panji. 21 BLOs booked in UP for negligence in SIR related work. From Ghaziabad, UP, the case was registered against 21 booth level officers, BLOs, on Thursday for alleged negligence in carrying out duties related to the Election Commission Special Intensive Revision of Electoral Rolls, officials said. Acting on the direction of District Election Officer and District Magistrate Ravindra Kumar Mandar, Deputy Tehsildar Alok Kumar Yadav filed an FIR at the Sihani Gate police station, they shared. Tribal couple hacked to death over sandal strap dispute from Jharkhand. An elderly tribal couple was hacked to death by their neighbor in Jharkhand's West Singhbhum district following a dispute over a scandal, strap police said on Thursday. Woman died, boy hurt in two separate leopards attacks from Baraj, UP. Gujarat farms found behind supply of drug precursors of Gujarat farms found behind supply of drug precursors to Myanmar, Burma, New Delhi. Gujarat-based farms have been found behind illicit supply of precursor chemicals to Myanmar through the porous Indo-Myanmar border to Mizoram for manufacturing. 67-year-old gets 10 years RI for molesting girl. Court should not be made a medium for political battles. BJP hails Gavai's remarks rejecting government pressure in judiciary's work. From New Delhi, the BJP on Thursday welcomed former Chief Minister, former Chief Justice of India B.R. Gavai's assertion that there is no government interference in the functioning or judgments of the judiciary. His remarks came at a time when several political leaders, including leaders of the opposition in the Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, have repeatedly accused the BJP and RSS of exerting influence over constitutional institutions. BJP MP Praveen Khandelwal said, I think that after the statement of B.R. Gavai, the situation should become very clear to those who, because of their politics, make the accusation that Supreme Court works under the pressure of the government every day. Gavai has just retired. In this sense, his speech is very important. Court should not be made a medium for political battles. Take such issues before electorate. Ex-CGI Gavai on Watchori Row, New Delhi. A former Chief Justice of India, B.R. Gavai, said on Thursday that the Supreme Court should not be used as a platform for political confrontation. His remarks came after the court declined to entertain a plea seeking a special investigation team probe into allegations of electoral manipulation raised by leader of the opposition in Lok Sabha and Congress MP Rahul Gandhi. In order, the Supreme Court had refused to consider a PIL demanding a court monitoring investigation into alleged irregularities in electoral rolls and advised the petitioner to approach the Election Commission of India ECI for appropriate redressal. The former CJI Gavai said, I have always maintained that the court should not be made a medium for political battles. The judiciary should not be used for political fights. These must be fought before the electorate. He added that judicial forms should not become tools for settling political disputes. There have been multiple instances 10 cases were filed against politicians. I have said openly that neither central nor state investigative or agencies should be misused for political purpose. During my tenure, I handled two such cases, one involving senior Karnataka politician facing enforcement directorate action and another involving a member of parliament from the ruling party he shared. In both matters, I made it clear that investigate machinery cannot be used to settle political scores. I granted relief in both cases because political contest should be resolved before the people, not in the courts, Justice Gavesh stated. Meanwhile, LOP Gandhi has repeatedly accused the BJP government and the election commission of enabling vote theft, raising the issue in Haryana and Karnataka. The Congress had also the Congress has also had public rallies in Delhi and Bihar over the allegation. In response, 272 prominent citizens, including retired judges, bureaucrats, and military officers, had issued an open letter condemning attempts to undermine constitutional institutions, including the ECI. जूनियर हॉकी विश्व कप भारत का आज ओमान से मुकाबला। शहीद मोदी अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बैडमिंटन टूर्नामेंट सेमीफाइनल में पहुंची तन्वी शर्मा। व्हाइट हाउस फायरिंग के बाद अमेरिका की अफगान नागरिकों की वीजा। पीएम आज डीजीपी आईजीपी सम्मेलन में लेंगे हिस्सा छत्तीसगढ़ से। रेल मंत्री आज जैसलमेर दिल्ली एक्सप्रेस को दिखाएंगे हरी झंडी। 4 से 5 दिसंबर को भारत की राजकीय यात्रा पर रहेंगे रूस के राष्ट्रपति व्लादिमीर पुतिन। भारत की ओर बढ़ा चक्रवात देशवा, दक्षिण पूर्वी राज्यों में अलर्ट। 2 या 2 से अधिक भाषाएं बोलते हैं उन्हें बायोलॉजिकल फॉर्म भी धीमी उम्र बढ़ने का लाभ मिलता है। ऑपरेशन सागर बंधु के तहत श्रीलंका को भारतीय वायुसेना का विमान 12 टन राहत सामग्री लेकर पहुंचा कोलंबो। भूस्खलन से 174 लोगों की मौत इंडोनेशिया से। हांगकांग अग्निकांड में मृतकों का आंकड़ा बढ़कर 128 हुआ। एपिजेनेटिक मार्कर, एपिजेनेटिक क्लॉक। जूनियर हॉकी विश्व कप भारत का आज ओमान से मुकाबला। शहीद मोदी अंतर्राष्ट्रीय बैडमिंटन टूर्नामेंट सेमीफाइनल में पहुंची तन्वी शर्मा। व्हाइट हाउस फायरिंग के बाद अमेरिका की पीएम आज डीजीपी आईजीपी सम्मेलन में लेंगे हिस्सा छत्तीसगढ़ से। रेल मंत्री आज जैसलमेर दिल्ली एक्सप्रेस को दिखाएंगे हरी झंडी। 4 से 5 दिसंबर को भारत की राजकीय यात्रा पर रहेंगे रूस के राष्ट्रपति। क्या होता है एपिजेनेटिक मार्कर? भारत की ओर बढ़ा चक्रवात देशवा, दक्षिण पूर्वी राज्यों में अलर्ट। श्रीलंका में चक्रवात देशवा से अब तक 56 लोगों की मौत। ऑपरेशन सागर बंधु के तहत श्रीलंका को भारत की मदद। भारतीय वायुसेना का विमान 12 टन राहत सामग्री लेकर पहुंचा कोलंबो। भूस्खलन से 174 लोगों की मौत इंडोनेशिया में। हांगकांग अग्निकांड में मृतकों का आंकड़ा बढ़कर 128 हुआ। जूनियर हॉकी विश्व कप भारत ने चिली को 7-0 से हराया। Caste groups rally behind CM Siddha. BKS amid power tussle. Kharge to meet warring Karnataka netas with Rahul from Bengaluru. In a fresh twist to the ongoing power struggle in Karnataka, caste groups backing Chief Minister Siddharmaya and his deputy DK Shivakumar on Thursday threw their weight behind them with one warning Congress against unseating the incumbent CM, while the other communities strongly batted for Shivakumar's elevation. As the pressure builds up over the Congress High Command to put an end to the tussle, Party Chief Mallikarjun Kharge said he will have a meeting with select leaders, including Rahul Gandhi and the Siddharmaya Shivakumar, due to resolve the master. Supreme Court to consider plea for listing petition of states in minerals royalty case. From New Delhi, the Supreme Court on Thursday said it will take a decision on the listing of pleas of various mineral rich states before a bench related to levy of tax on mineral rights. Netflix opposes in Delhi High Court's Wankhede's plea against web series. Two coaches of passenger train derailed in Jharkhand. Supreme Court audit sets stage for HECI overhaul. Move comes in response to a petition filed by a student of Amity University from Delhi. From New Delhi, Supreme Court has ordered an unprecedented nationwide audit of all private and deemed universities, transforming a student grievance into a deep scrutiny of students. India's sprawling higher education sector in a sweeping directive, the Apex Court has asked the Central, all states and duties and the University Grants Commission to submit personally sworn affidavit disclosing how these institutions were set up, who owns them, what regulatory approvals they hold, and whether they truly function on a not-for-profit basis.
Welcome to rock music. Bluetooth mode.
Supreme Court audit sets stage for HECI overhaul. Move comes in response to a petition filed by a student of Amity University from New Delhi. Supreme Court has ordered an unprecedented nationwide audit of all private and deemed universities, transforming a student grievance into a deep scrutiny of India's sprawling higher education sector. In a sweeping directive, the Apex Court has asked the Centre, all states and UTs and the University Grants Commission to submit personally sworn affidavits disclosing how these institutions were set up, who governs them, what regulatory approvals they hold, and whether they truly function on a not-for-profit basis. The above comes In the response to a petition filed by a student of Amity University, Aisha Jain, who alleged the institution harassed and barred her from attending classes after the legally changed her name. What began as a single case of administrative apathy has now turned into a judicial institution into the governance and financial practices of the entire private university ecosystem. Supreme Court forces clear expose the structural opacity and examine whether regulatory bodies like UGC have adequately performed their role. Past interventions show this is an unfamiliar terrain. In 2005, the court struck down the Chhattisgarh Private Universities Act that had allowed over 100 shell institutions to operate without basic academic infrastructure. In 2009, a central review found 44 deemed universities unfit for their status due to poor academic and governance standards. In 2017, a Supreme Court verdict invalidated engineering degrees awarded by a unapproved distance mode by deemed universities and cleared them from conducting such courses without clear regulatory approval. This current review cuts deeper. It questions how private universities acquire land, appoint leadership, handle finances, and whether they have credible grievance redressal mechanism. The demand for personal accountability from chief secretaries to the UGC chairperson signals judicially impatience with the status quo. A UGC official on condition of anonymity acknowledged there have been long-standing compliance gaps. This is a chance to restore public trust. The official added that in the current case, the Commission in fact recommended the university to consider the name change request. Private universities, many of which operate under different state and central laws, are lettered. This is a sweeping bruise, said a vice chancellor of a reputed state private university. We support transparency, but we also fear being paired with the same brush as a few errant institutions. Observers see timing in the court's action. The Higher Education Commission of India bill intended to overhaul regulation and merge UGC, AICTE, and the others under one roof is expected in the upcoming Parliament session. An issue concerning a private university legislated by state law is now expanded to rope in all private deemed universities governed by separate regulation under a central law. In a similar exercise in 2017, in the case of the Odisha lift case, an issue concerning for deemed universities affected all in an irreversible manner. With HECI round the corner, it is hoped that the present issue finds a policy solution through the HECI bill, said an academic policy expert. Protests to continue. Protests to continue till three other demands met Morcha says. How Gujarat only boosts John is saying, cheers with permits and paper trail. When Gujarat lifted its prohibition laws within GIF to gift city, On New Year 2023, it made national headlines for a state where dry has been a foundational principle since 1960. The move to create a watering hole where professionals could socialize, even if within the perimeters of India's first international financial hub, felt audacious. 2 years later, the glass remains half full. Measured rather than overflowing, official figures show 985 permanent employees with liquor access permits and 5,291 temporary ones for visitors with 5,552 bulk liters of liquor sold to date. A modest but telling figure. Gujarat's experiment with controlled conviviality proves that even in prohibition territory, business pragmatism can find a way. Narendra Somani, President HRA Gujarat says Gift City shows how controlled liberalization can build a wine and dine culture and add to state revenues. With global events on the horizon, it's time Gujarat considered extending such annexation in a regulated way. Sanjay Kaul, IAS, MD and Group CEO, Gift City says the streamlining of prohibition norms specific to Gift City has been widely welcomed by companies and professionals who see it as a reflection of the city's global readiness. Tarun Shah, a developer, says with liquor norms relaxed, interest among foreign firms has risen and real estate inquiries jumped. SEBI cancels registration of 68 investment advisors from Delhi. Running cost to be one of the lowest in India, Tesla says. From Guru Gram, US EV giant Tesla on Wednesday said running costs on the electrics will be one of the lowest in the country with hardly any need to take the car to service station for years because of over the air tech updates and other remote care. The company was speaking about plans to expand retail and supercharger network in India. Sarad Agrawal, head of Tesla's India business, said the company remains confident on growth in India. After beginning operation in July this year with retail of Model Y, which is important. Sensex closes marginally up after scaling record high from Mumbai. Eco-stable to navigate risk keep momentum, says Firmin. Consumption got boost from GST rate rationalization, report says. द्रौपदी मुर्मू राष्ट्रपति पोलो कप देखेंगी. AM 16 में 16th अखिल भारतीय सम्मेलन की करेंगे अध्यक्षता. Sachdev's 7th gold consolidates Jain University's top position from Jaipur. Jain University's Bhavya Sachdeva bagged a golden double in the individual swimming event and added another gold in the women's 4 into 100 meter midday relay taking her overall tally to 7 at the Khelo India University Games here on Thursday. Bhavya, who had won one individual and one relay gold on the first 2 days of competition, began her gold medal march on Thursday in the women's 800-meter freestyle category with a timing of 9:37:41 seconds here at the Swai Mansingh Stadium complex. The first Indian woman to win an Asian Aquatic Championships medal earlier this year. Bhavya returned to the pool a few minutes later to win the 200-meter freestyle event with a timing of 2 minutes 13 seconds 55 points. Jain University swimmer Jain University swimmers expectedly dominated the pool events, winning 8 of the 11 gold medals on offer to take their all overall gold medal tally to 20. Guru Nanak Dev University and Lovely Professional University were looked in a neck-to-neck battle for the second spot in the medals tally, as the latter bagged 3 gold medals in archery and 1 in shooting to take their gold medals tally to 13. Guru Nanak Dev University have so far won 14 gold medals, sweeping all 3 golds in fencing, while winning 1 in shooting on Thursday. Archer Jansika Kumari and Devang Gupta won the recurve men and women finals respectively and returned in the evening to lead LPU to the team gold. The women's recurve final, Anshika defeated Punjab University's Srishti Jaiswal 6-2, while Gupta got the better of Shivaji University's Science Sailor 6-4 in the men's recurve final at the Jagatpura Sports Complex. Arsenal Topal bears to seize top spot from Paris on a Wild Champions League night with stellar teenage scorer. India looked to reclaim title after 9 years from Chennai, host India. The joint second most successful team in the tournament history will look to reclaim the title on home soil after 9 years when they opened their campaign against Chile in their opening pool match of the men as India beat Grand 3-2 in Poses. WPL auction briefly returns to UP Warriors for 3.2 crore rupees from New Delhi. Deepti Sharma expectedly flashed the big bucks at the day as UP Warriors used the right to match card for the Indian all-rounder, securing her services for 3.20 crore rupees. Perth's two-day test pitch gets highest possible rating from Perth. Tanvi stunned Okuhara in Syed Modi International from Lucknow. Testing time for India. Loss to South Africa will be forgotten once white ball teams succeed from Guwahati. It was right after day 4 of the second test of the series against South Africa in Guwahati. India were staring at one of their most humiliating series losses in recent times, but the focus of most of the stakeholders of Indian cricket was somewhere else. A gala was going on in Mumbai where the schedule of T20 World Cup was being announced. Former India all-format captain Rohit Sharma was there. He was current T20 leader Surya Kumar Yadav along with board mandarins. But there was not a single discussion pertaining to the impending red ball disaster. The stage was getting prepared for the next 6 months of white ball fest that is going to rule the heads and heart of the Indian cricket fans. Ashwin defends Gambhir from New Delhi. Former off-spinner Ashwin had defended under fire India head coach Gautam Gambhir after the 0-2 hours. After the 0-2 home test series loss to South Africa, saying it is not right to call for his sacking at a time when not enough responsibility has been shouldered by the players. India were outplayed in the series that concluded in Guwahati on Tuesday. Future of manufacturing technology powering progress, keeping pace with global technological advancements. The manufacturing sector is emerging as a central pillar behind India's rise. During April-June 2025, India posted a five-quarter high of 7.8% GDP growth, and in July 2025, the HSBC India Manufacturing PMI touched a 16-month high of 59.1. The country is rapidly positioning itself as a global manufacturing hub, supported by government initiatives, rising domestic demand, and strong export momentum. The merchandise exports reached 112.17 billion dollars in April. Three militants arrested for threatening to bomb festival from Imphal. Illegal Bangladeshis robbed Goa houses. The state 30 deported, says DGP from Panji. काशी तमिल संगमम को लेकर प्रेस वार्ता। हांगकांग अग्निकांड में मृतकों का आंकड़ा बढ़ा। काशी तमिल संगमम को लेकर प्रेस वार्ता। जूनियर हॉकी विश्व कप भारत ने चिल्ली को 7-0 से हराया। Ashok Lakshmi Karam and Britain's UHNI outflow. Recent reports suggest that industrialist Lakshmi Mittal may be considering leaving London for Switzerland or Dubai. The economic policies of Britain's Labour governments are reportedly spooking ultra high net worth individuals who are now looking to relocate to tax havens. In Indic spiritual parlance, this is not merely a flight of millennials, it is Lakshmi, the goddess of wealth, deserting the one great empire on which the sun never set. According to legend, Lakshmi emerged during the Samudra Manthan, the great cosmic setting seated on a lotus. She carried a pot of nectar, coveted by both the. She declared herself She declared herself the goddess of wealth and prosperity. Lakshmi blesses those who worship her with abundance, but the nature of abundance is not limited to words of cash, since wealth alone is not a true measure of prosperity. Dhan Lakshmi is accompanied by seven others, from completing Ashtalakshmi, the October of Lakshmi. To be truly wealthy, one must cultivate all eight attributes that ensure complete well-being and spiritual harmony, yet we often make the mistake of preparing global and national list of the richest people based solely on monetary wealth. According to scripture, one who does not embody all eight dimensions of Lakshmi cannot be considered truly wealthy. This is why the concept of Ashtalakshmi, the eight forms of prosperity, is emphasized. A person must be strong in each of these aspects, the eight forms of Lakshmi R. Labor of law, we now have proof that our Babudam is renowned for its devotion to work. I love work, wrote Jerome K. Jerome in his Idle Thoughts of an Idle Fellow. Come to my study and I will show you loads and loads of work which I have collected over the years and which I can't bear to part with. I sit and stare at it fascinatedly for hours and then had he been around today, Jerome would have established kinship with India's bureaucracy. Our all pervasive Babudam which shares with the English author an attachment to work, a love for labor, so great that it cannot afford to part with it at any cost. If it's broke, fix it. Reviews are fundamental to running everything better, from courts to governments to science to tech. The Supreme Court must not fret that many of its decisions are being reviewed by the other Supreme Court benches. Indeed, no one in any position of authority, big or small, newspaper editors will figure in the list of those with very small authority should get miffed if their decisions are subject to other scrutiny. Stuff happened all the time for better or worse. How will decision making get better without reviews? Courts, parliaments, scientific bodies, they all rely on the power of review to write better judgments, improve upon legislation, and have research pass the test of peer assessment. Imagine a world without review. The hangman would be terribly busy. It would be not so funny, calmed off terrors of bad law, broken software, dangerous medicine as it is. There are these days an alarmingly large number of people who believe WhatsApp University, which reviews nothing, carries the wisdom of Nalanda. Even if they can't quite tell you where or what Nalanda is, reviews have transformed whole countries. One of the most dramatic reviews ever was by India in 1991. Government discovered its forex wallet, designed as per the best socialist principle, was empty. Liberalization followed, industrial licensing, reviewed trade policy, reviewed foreign investment, reviewed cut to present, think tank recall BSOD. The blue screen of death had hit the world last July. That massive outage knocked out global tech. Windows retired the infamous blue after Microsoft reviews decided it was time to junk it. Even relationships can course correct only if there is recognition that a pause and pivot is called for, whether with partners or as parents of teens. So, those in authority must not view a call for review as an affront to their ego or an insult to their intelligence. This comment, for example, went through a process of pre-publication review, but it may read even better after post-publication reviews. The same holds for any number of things far more important than a newspaper editorial. Nothing, including Supreme Court judgments, is scared. None of this is to question that homespun America wisdom. If it is not broke, don't fix it. But if it's broke, buddy, and it needs fixing, don't jinx it. Why free beach signal a collapse of political ambition? कैसे होम लोन की ईएमआई को करे कम? कोयला खनन के लिए सरकारी सूची में शामिल हुई 18 नई कंपनियां। Handouts may will elections, but they don't build nation. We need a national code that prescribes how much can be spent on such largesses and compels party to show where the money will come from. Supreme change of mind. That Supreme Court has many times overturned its own rulings should be celebrated, not lamented. The two judge benches critic misses the point from strengthening fundamental rights to decriminalizing gay sex, guaranteeing right to privacy to stopping misuse of sedition. Supreme Court reviews have protected citizens. On Wednesday, two judge Supreme Court bench observed the court is pained at the growing trend of revisiting and overturning of its own verdicts by subsequent benches. Ironically, this obiter dictum came on the day the country commemorated its 75-year-old constitution, one recognized by Supreme Court and jurists as a living document open a dynamic interpretation with passage of time. More important, this trend of overturning its own ruling is entirely in conformity with the objective of Article 141 of the Constitution. Supreme Court declared law shall be binding on all courts in India. Surely a change of review by Supreme Court on a specific legal or constitutional issue can't make Article 141 less potent. Take for instance the A.K. Gopalajan judgment of May 1950, the full court of Supreme Court, C.J. Harilal Jekania and Justices S. Fazal Ali, M. Patanjali Shastri, M.C. Mahajan, Bijan K. Mukherjee and S.R. Das with a 4:2 majority gave limited meaning to fundamental rights and upheld preventive detention of a person without disclosure of grounds to him. Should this view of fundamental rights have gone unchallenged or should it have been reviewed? India has been served well by the fact that subsequent judgments have expanded the scope of fundamental rights in I.C. Golaknath Supreme Court in 1967 ruled Parliament cannot amend the fundamental rights part of Constitution in its largest ever bench of 13 judges in Keshwananda Bharti case. Supreme Court in 1973 expanded Golaknath principle to rule and the much larger basic structure of the Constitution, which included fundamental rights, cannot be amended. But notwithstanding these seven final rulings, in 1976, a five-judge Supreme Court, with the sterling exception of Justice H.R. Khanna in ADM Jabalpur case and by 4:1 majority ruled that proclamation of emergency suspends all rights, including right to life. Imagine a situation today where in the name of protecting a country from internal disturbances, Supreme Court gave such a license to government to essentially kill citizens. Fortunately, Supreme Court reversed A.K. Gopalan's ruling in Maneka Gandhi cases of 1978. Two renowned SC judges, Y.B. Chandrachud, longest serving CJI in Supreme Court's history, and P.N. Bhagwati, who invented the tool of PIL to protect rights of voiceless, spoke of inviolability of fundamental rights. They expanded the right to life to include dignity within the ambit Ironically, these two had agreed with majority view in ADM Jabalpur verdict. Pole position CWZ is returning to India, but what do collapsing basketballs say about our supporting aspirations? क्या है होम लोन के लिए सही प्लान? भारत दक्षिण अफ्रीका के बीच 30 नवंबर को पहला वनडे। दक्षिणी अफ्रीका भारत के बीच 30 नवंबर को पहला वनडे। लोन से पहले प्रॉपर्टी की लीगल जांच जरूरी। भारत दक्षिणी अफ्रीका दोनों टीमों ने मैदान पर बहाया पसीना। ईएमआई आपके बजट में फिट? कैसे होम लोन की ईएमआई को करे कम? धामी इस्लाम स्टाफ फॉर नेग्लेक्टिंग कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ मेमोरियल्स। अमृतसर श्रोमणी गुरुद्वारा प्रबंधक कमेटी एसजीपीसी प्रेसिडेंट हरजिंदर सिंह धामी censured the Punjab government for failing to give attention to the construction of memorials. Turning Punjab students into job creators from Mohali in a major step towards promoting innovation and self-employment among students, the Punjab School Education Board has finalized the entrepreneurship curriculum for class +2. Plea in Park seeks deportation of Sikh pilgrim from Jalandhar from Amritsar. Paddy and basmati arrivals declined due to prolonged rainfall in Amritsar. Son urges release of pending relief funds from Jalandhar. Central government team to probe MGNREGA violation, Manrega violations from Jalandhar. Government prioritize farmers in trade deal talks. 6 years, zero farm fire, Shivraj loud Ranchi Kalan. तन्वी शर्मा ने महिला सिंगल्स के सेमीफाइनल में पहुंची, अब घर का सपना होगा साकार। तन्वी शर्मा ने महिला सिंगल्स के सेमीफाइनल्स में पहुंची। क्या है होम लोन के लिए सही प्लान? सेमीफाइनल में तन्वी का मुकाबला की हीना से होगा। ईएमआई आपके बजट को कैसे करें कम? Explosive thrown outside Sirsa Women's Police Station. Terror angle under probe from Hisar. The Sirsa police have arrested 5 youths under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act and other charges after an explosive device was heard outside the Sirsa Women's Police Station on Tuesday night. A video of incident circulated widely on social media, prompting a high-level investigation. The police suspect the act may have been orchestrated by a major terrorist and led to create panic. A special investigation team headed by Sirsa Superintendent of Police Deepak Saharan was constituted to conduct a detailed probe and interrogate two accused. Panchkula set to host India International Science Festival from Chandigarh. Haryana is gearing up to host the India International Science Festival 2025 from December 6 to 9 in Panchkula, marking a landmark celebration of science, innovation and technology under the central scheme Vigyan Se Samriddhi for Atmanirbhar Bharat. A high-level meeting to review the preparations for the festival was held under the chairmanship of Chief Secretary Anurag Rastogi. Ecosystem for efficiency in property docs approval from Chandigarh. Tesla likely to set up India's first EV plant in Haryana, CM says from Chandigarh. Haryana Chief Minister Nab Singh Saini on Thursday said he is confident Tesla will establish its first electric vehicle manufacturing plant in India in Haryana. Saini was speaking after inaugurating the country's first all-in-all Tesla India Motors Center in Gurugram. Haryana Industry and Commerce Ministry Rao Narbir Singh, Patodi MLA Bimla Chaudhary, Sona MLA Tejpal Tanwar and Gurugram MLA Mukesh Sharma were also present at the event. The CM said Haryana is working to reduce the cost of doing business, including introducing a special leasing policy for industrial plots and strengthening the local supply chain. He said the state has built a strong ease of doing business framework supported by the Department of Foreign Cooperation to facilitate global investment. Saini said Haryana remains the leader of automobile manufacturing and contributes 3.6% to the national GDP. Exports, he said, have risen from about rupees 70,000 crore before 2014 to over rupees 2.75 lakh crore. Haryana also ranks second nationally and first in North India in logistics support for industry. He added that the state has eased compliance by scrapping outdated laws and through the Public Trust Ordinance 2025 decriminalized 164 provisions across 42 acts over the last 11 years. 12.2 lakh MSMEs have been set up in the state, generating 49 lakh jobs, he said. Haryana Governor invited for PTEX 2025 from Amritsar. Cops release crime record of gangster paraded in chains from Hisar. Newborn found dead in pig in Panchkula drain. News from Panchkula. Army drone crashes into Hansi factory after bird hit from Hisar. Man meets dead basketballers. Family questions CW games from prep from Rohtak, Chandigarh. Haryana MOS asked Punjab CM to focus on state. Haryana Minister of State for Sports Gaurav Gautam also visited the home of deceased. He said Chief Minister Nab Singh Saini and the state government should firmly with the family and that officials found prima facie responsible were suspended. Wherever a player plays, his safety is the responsibility of the sports department. Providing and maintaining a safe environment is the government's duty. Gautam said, adding that a detailed inquiry was ordered and misuse of non-use of MP-led funds with the Panchayat department would also be probed. Terming Man's remarks on the accident as politically motivated, he said instead of making such statements, the Punjab CM should focus on athletes in his own state and on addressing the growing issue of drug addiction among its youth. Work halted at Bhatta Kufar Twin Tube Tunnel from Shimla. High Court expresses dismay over poor facilities at AIMS, packing for just 60 vehicles from Shimla. Court warns officers with imprisonment for non-compliance with ship from Shimla. BJP MLA Hans Ras gets bail in POXO case from Kullu. Cases piling up, but two info panel post vacant from Shimla. Panchayat polls after Disaster Act is lifted, says Sukhu from Dharamshala. Uproar in HP House after Min accuses Sarkar of Running state BJP MLAs storm Bell, cause adjournment and then boycott Nagi addresses from Dharamshala. Raids across Kashmir as police crackdown on jail from Srinagar. श्रीलंका में चक्रवात चितवात से अब तक 69 लोगों की मौत। ऑपरेशन सागर बंधु के तहत श्रीलंका को भारत की मदद। इंडोनेशिया भूस्खलन से 174 लोगों की मौत। हांगकांग अग्निकांड में मृतकों का आंकड़ा बढ़कर 128 हुआ। ज्यादातर बैंकों में तुरंत प्री अप्रूवल। जूनियर हॉकी विश्व कप भारत का आज ओमान से मुकाबला। विक्ट्री ऑफ पीयू स्टूडेंट्स वरिंग सुखवीर वेलकम सेनेट इलेक्शन नोटिफिकेशन फ्रॉम चंडीगढ़। Punjab launches system to simplify property resignation from Fatehgarh Sahib. Akal Takht acting Jathedar visits family of murdered Jalandhar girl, seeks speedy trial from Jalandhar. I thank all my brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, students, scholars, teacher, trainer, professors, officials. I thank all respected doctors and directors. I thank all honorable ministers and managers. I thank all honorable advocates, secretaries, and administrative advisors. Thank you very much. Last but not the least, I would like to thank the most honorable President Mr. Modi ji. Thank you very much. Nice to see all of you. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.